When I was 6 years old, something weird happened. These two guys that I'd never seen before came to our house in Ritzville, and they took my brother, John, who was 5 years old, and me to the store, and told us that we could each pick out a Christmas present for ourselves and for our two little sisters. This felt wrong. But Mama and Daddy had said it was okay, so I chose a piano. It was a little piano, just the right size for my doll Bonnie, whom I had left out all night in the rain and all her hair fell out, and I really owed her this. And it was so cute. It had 8 keys, the C major scale. The black keys were painted on, but the white keys really played. And when I sounded out a song that used all 8 notes, I was ecstatic. "Mama, I can play Jewels!" And she said, "Yes, I recognize it." Jewels, which is really called When He Cometh, was my favorite song from Sunday school at the Ritzville Church of the Nazarene. It's about precious jewels in a crown, and they're really little children. It was empowering. "Mama, can I play Jewels in church?" Our church had really wonderful music. Our pianist was an imposing woman named Mrs. Jingling, who played very elaborately. She ornamented every one of the hymns with arpeggios and glissandos. And there was a marimba player. Now, when we went to Cle Elum 4 years later, I looked in vain for the marimba at our new church. I thought every Nazarene church came with one. Mama said, "We'll see." And for some reason, they said yes. On Sunday morning, my braids were so tight, they pulled my eyes apart. I stood on a booster step. I put the piano on the pulpit, and I began to play, lost in the love of the music. Blink, 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 blink. In my head, I was the size of my doll, and I was playing a concert grand. There's something magic that happens when a performer is in the zone. The audience goes into a kind of a trance. Their breathing slows. A hush settles over the room. And if everything is going right, the emotion gathers in one big surge and washes right back over the performer like a wave. Well, this was my first time ever performing in public. I had no clue what was going to happen. When I hit the last plink, I looked up and the surge washed over me. And then some man said, "Praise Jesus!" And I grabbed the piano and I rushed to the safety of our pew. My heart was pounding. And after church, all the grown-ups said to Mama, "What a charming child." And I just stared at my saddle shoes. It took me a long time to understand what had happened, but I have not forgotten that lesson. A performer can't ask for that hush. You can't expect that surge of emotion. You've got to earn it. And the way I get there is to be as open-hearted as my 6-year-old self. And for that journey of discovery, I have to thank those two guys. And who the heck were those two guys anyway? John and I racked our brains for years. Finally, I asked Daddy, were they with a charity or something? "Oh, no. Those guys were with the Eddie Bauer catalog." Yeah. Daddy was a lineman for the Northern Pacific Railroad, and his job took him way out in the wilderness, checking the lines out by the railroad tracks, way out in the middle of nowhere. And he maintained microwave towers, and anyway, as he was doing his job, out there in far from anywhere, there was this tripod out on the railroad ties, and this photographer and this model with outdoor clothing, and they were taking pictures. It must have been very picturesque. There was a curving track disappearing behind a hill. But Daddy showed them the semaphore that said that just behind that picturesque hill, out of sight and out of earshot, there was a train coming. And he got him off the tracks in time. Now, Daddy has never been the kind of guy to accept a reward for doing the right thing. But he allowed those two guys to take John and me to the toy store. We never know. We never know what kind of impact a kindness will have on someone else. But we should do them. We should do them as often as we can, because it's like throwing a stone into the water and the ripples just ripple out and out and out, touching and spreading until they spread all over the world.